All right, so we are here. Thank you guys for coming on this last minute uh, training slash presentation about our next um, solutions. We are part of a company called Max Dream Corporation, which has been around for 17 years. They had other companies, but has always been in a software or technical sales solutions. I myself, to give a little background on me, Ronald Mello, I've been selling software since 1997, 1998, actually even before that, 1996. Working for a software company, selling high-end software solutions, enterprise solutions for many corporations, many Fortune 1000, Fortune 500 companies throughout the country. I used to travel a lot. My background has been in technical sales, as I used to be in a technical support. I started my career and then went into working for software companies and consulting companies, have sold and gave presentations to many large corporations of all kinds. Traveled through Latin America. My background is, I'm from Brazil originally, but I went to school here in Virginia and graduated here and stayed here for all these years. But what we have here is this Max Voicemail. Is a new solution that has been around for the past 3 years. But before I get into that, I want to get you guys a little feedback on what you guys do. Just a short, 1 minute of what you are, where you live, and introduce yourselves. Here with me, Parker, are you on a call? Oh, no, actually, I'm allowing him to be on a call right now. Hello, Parker. Hello, Parker. Oh, Parker, can you hear me? Parker is on the call, but I'm wondering if he's mute or not. I'm sure he can hear us because of it. He says it's on the call. He's on the call. But anyway, Parker is also on our company. He and I goes to a lot of trade shows and small business meetings and trying to get people to understand and pass the word about the voicemail that we promote and sell. And he's here with me in Fort Lauderdale area, in Miami area. So some of you are from different parts of the country. So let's start by Jose. Can you give us your intro, or what are you doing, what you've been doing, your name, and where are you from?
Sure. My name is Jose Real. I am from Colombia, and I do insurance. I have been doing insurance for about 25 years, and right now I am working from home, right over the telephone. So I procure final expense sales contracts, and I am interested in what caught my attention is the fact that I have to deal with leads, and leads is something important in any business. So what you have here is something definitely new and something that I know a lot of people are looking for. It's just that they don't know.
Right, exactly. Okay, Wesley?
I'm Wesley McCrary. I live in West Palm Beach right now. I've been here 21 years. I work in pest control sales. And actually next week I'm moving back to my home state of Louisiana. So I was looking for something I could do from home, which would be there soon. And I saw this on Craigslist, so I spoke with Ron, and it looks good to me.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So pest control is your main, the past couple of years, right? Or a few years?
Yeah, several years I've worked in sales and management for pest control companies, yes.
Okay. And your clients are residential, or what kind of a clients did you call into it?
They're residential. They were commercial, but we sold off actually we just divided into a commercial division, which I don't really have any control over, but I do. I'm planning on soliciting our commercial division to use these services.
Okay, cool. All right. So Karen? Karen, are you there? She's probably
Sorry,
moved.
I had it muted. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
I'm in West Palm Beach, and I'm also in insurance. I've done debt settlement, sales. I do work from home as well.
Okay. Very good. West Palm Beach and insurance. That's great. A great market to be in. Is Angel on the call? I don't think so. Okay, so this is what we're going to go through. As I said, this next voicemail is the next generation of lead generation, right? Everybody has different ways to reach out to people, like the old-fashioned way of a cold calling, a list of dozens of people, and hopefully they'll get on the call, and hopefully they'll give you a time to talk to you. But just like what we say here, we sell the next revolutionary way to generate inbound calls, not just emails, not just some kind of a return. We actually get a chance to talk to live people on a call. And one of the things that we need to do is I recommend, and I hate when people try to sell me something and they don't know their own website, they don't understand their own solutions per se. So it's important to understand what we sell, understand what's on our website. So one of the things that I want you guys to always catch up and know what's going on is our own website. I'm sure you all have visited, and I'm going to go and just browse through it. Some of the highlights of the website is, as you see here, there is this little video here that's just a 1-minute video. Very simple, but it gets to the point. I'm going to play it just for...
Send custom and personalized voicemail messages direct to your customers or prospects. Our direct-to-voicemail system is both FCC and TCP compliant, and its breakthrough enhanced information services technology improves your customer, client, or prospect contact rate. Your personal voicemail messages go right into their mobile phone without ever ringing their device. Their caller ID will show your local phone number, and no matter what kind of phone or plan they have, it never charges them a penny. Again, this is 100% FCC and TCP compliant. If you'd like to review our platform and see for yourself just how it can help you promote discounts, sales, service specials, specific events, or help you prospect for new customers, please contact us at the number on this page.
Okay, so the message here, the takeaway here is that we are fully compliant, okay, and it's with FTC, TCPA, and CRTC compliant, and most people don't even understand and knows, but this is the little trick. When we call into a business, because a lot of our campaigns are going to be calling into businesses such as realtors, insurance agents, or roofing companies, or dealerships, all kinds. When you call into those businesses, those are considered business-to-business calls. So it's irrelevant if it is FTC compliant or TCPA compliant or not, because that does not apply to the rule. The only time that the FTC or the FCC actually get into any complaints is when it is a phone call to phone call, voice to voice, like we are selling to somebody that picks up the phone, and if it is a residential, a consumer directly. In our case, we're going to be calling to consumers directly, or our customers are going to be calling to consumers directly per se. And we can say we are 100% compliant. However, in our list generation, when we create a list for the customer, we automatically scrub through all the people that have a do not call list. So we are kind of telling our prospect that no, our list, if you don't have your own list, we can provide you with one, and our lists are pre-scrubbed, or we can scrub again for you. So we are compliant with the government, and we are safe. The other takeaway from this presentation is that from this video is that we not only send voicemail to cell phones, but also to landlines. And so the landlines could be somebody's house, no answering machine, or to a VoIP line. Most people has a VoIP line, right? When you go into a UVerse, or they have those triple pack, and people signed up for a cell phone, a cable, and TV, or just cable TV and telephone. Well, those are VoIP lines. So we are compliant with that as well. So basically, if the way it works is when our software calls out to a residential or even a business with an answering machine, we kind of, if somebody picks up the phone, we hang up, or we can actually record a little message. Oops, sorry, wrong number, and hangs up. And we wait for another time to call where the answering machine picks up. So we're just smart enough to detect and do all that automatically with our platform. So this is our solutions for landline. But the voicemail on the cell phone, that goes straight into the people's cell phone because it doesn't even ring. We have a connection directly to Verizon servers and AT&T servers and Sprint servers that just simply drops a voicemail into their phone, and their phone would just basically make a noise, ding dong, you have a voice message or something to that effect. It depends on the voice. And when we compare that to the voicemail versus other types of marketing, you're going to hear that most people would like to check if they have a voicemail. They would check their voicemail. They will listen to their voicemail. So that's what we compare with the other types of marketing out there. The email rate, if you have a good email campaign, if you know your subscriber base, it's one thing. But if you don't, if you're going to get a code list, if you're going to buy a code list, this 23% to me, I think is way too high. Typically, you get an open rate of a 1 or 2%, 3%, 5% is at the top. But this is related probably to existing lists or something. So we are at 96%. So basically, I wanted to make sure that once you guys understand our website, people are going to refer to our website as a way of, hey, I saw on your website this and that. So we have to understand and learn what we have on our website. And by the way, our website is a work in progress, right? We're always improving. We're always trying to change or even changing the locations of certain things. I wanted to put here a form to have people to sign up and actually be even at the very top. So I'm going to add that later. So kind of be aware that people are going to be referring to the website. If we don't know, we can get ourselves in a bad situation here. This is a typical example of a script, which I'm going to cover that on the other slide, but there are some scripts here that people can see right away. Look at this conversion rate here, 24.6%, 49 callbacks. All we sent was here 129 drops. By the way, we call a voicemail deliver a drop. We drop it into their voicemail. So that's just a lingo that we use. But this was a typical script, very short. And now we basically say, hi, this is Steve Johnson with RE/MAX Advantage Plus. I'm doing an open house for a property that would be a perfect first-time buyers. So call me if you have it to give more specific. And this generated 49 callbacks. So when we call into realtors, we can refer this particular example. We have other examples. This generated 19 callbacks. This generated, 146. This is a lot bigger. On a sampler as 200 went to landlines and 47 went to cell phones. So you see different types of results, and I have plenty of results to show and to back up on our with our customers. But as you can see here, the setup is very easy. All we need from them is we're going to set up an account and create a list. Most of the time, they don't have a list, but sometimes the most powerful way to get the better results is when we can get the list from them. For example, I went into a furniture store. I bought a love seat for my house just about a month ago. And I was asking the lady, hey, I don't want to buy the couch to match the love seat at the moment, but how do I know if the couch is going to run out, if the manufacturer is going to stop making the matching couch with my love seat? And she goes, well, I sometimes, when I hear that they're going to stop making that particular model. I call my customers and I let them know, the ones that bought the pieces that goes in the living room, and I go, so you call all of them by yourself manually? So yes. Now I'll tell you what, we have this new system called the Max Voicemail, and we can do all this for you. You can just give me your list of how many do you have on your list. She said hundreds. No, I have close to 1,000 or even more. So, well, good. We can send reminders for your campaign for the weekend. If you have a Halloween special, if you have Thanksgiving specials, promotion this weekend particularly, we can promote all kinds of stuff. And she goes, wow, this is fantastic, because otherwise I will be calling here all day long, outbound call, hopefully to find somebody that picks up the phone or try to leave a message, whatever. So those are the kind of things that we can do. When they have the list, it's much easier because they can make references on the script. Hey, remember me? This is Karen from Rooms to Go. We bought this and that from us a few months ago. So this is the most powerful way to get the best results when we can get the customer's list. So that gives an idea. The third step is to actually record the voice message, come up with a script that makes sense for that particular industry. We have some sample scripts that we can provide to them, and then or they can tweak it and go create their own and something like that. The fourth step is basically turn on the campaign. We load it up. We prepare the list that they have, and then we start the campaign, and they have a full control of the campaign. That's what I'm going to show you on this call today. This here is the little statistics, and we can go through this in a little while, but let me go back to the presentation and from here. Does anybody have any questions so far? Stop me if you have a question.
No, I don't.
Gary? No? Okay. All right. So the niches that we kind of find it to be hot is easier to sell is the HVAC companies. We try to get good responses. And one of the reasons is HVAC companies, some roofing companies, real estate, and insurance agents, they tend to carry their cell phones with them. There are small companies, most of the time, 1 or 3 or 5 or 10 people, and the call that we called into them is typically they forwarded to their cell phones. So we usually talk to the owner or the partner on the company, and that's the best way. They're going to hear our message and they're going to call us back. So those are the typical best niches to call. The automotive is a very good one, but it's more of a larger type of a typical. If you go into a franchise like a BMW or Ford or Kia or Hyundai, one of those big ones, you're going to get a voicemail on a switchboard, right? So it's not going to be very effective. So if you go into a small mom and pop car lots and even parts stores or service stores or body shops, those are very good because the owners would answer the calls or the secretary would pass the calls to the owner and they're always around. So a small to mid-sized company is more effective than others. Clinical dentists, they always have a secretary, so we leave on those instances for at night time. We have just a basic common sense, right? If you're going to call a landline, we want to call them late at night for dental clinics and medical offices and different types of businesses because they're not going to be there. And it goes into a voicemail, and in the morning, the owner or the secretary would listen to it, and they would pick up the message and read and pass it on to the owner. So different type of the campaigns, the political candidates, they love this stuff because they can leave messages to get votes to promote what that they have, and it's very successful for us as well during campaigns and so forth. Now, it's important for us to, in order for you guys to get paid or get acknowledged, you're going to get a lot of calls coming in, and the key to success is be able to log the calls into our CRM. We use this Bitrix 24. Some of you are familiar with Bitrix, and some of you have looking over the weekend some of the videos. They have a lot of training on that. But we're going to be using very little of Bittrex. Bittrex is a very, very powerful CRM with over 2 million users worldwide, and but they can be a typical CRM that has a lot more than what we really need. The goal here is when I launch a campaign, I will load the list of hundreds of businesses into the Bittrex, and I'll have a number assigned to the campaign, and the campaign would call into Bittrex, and Bittrex would pop up with a screen pop with the customer in front of you. So you can just basically enter the notes right into Bittrex as the call are coming in front of your computer. So that makes it easier. However, depending on the campaign, depending on the stage of the campaign, this may not be available. But the goal is to have that working with your name on it, with your login, and have you to log in to your leads. Because this become your leads, you're going to have to do a follow-up. They always ask you to, hey, send me an email with a proposal or with more information, or call me back tomorrow, and so forth. So that's the idea here. Is once you enter that's your notes, that's your customer, and that's how you're going to get paid, is knowing that you are the one closing that account because you are the one handling that account. And as you know, the sales compensation here is that you're going to make money as you close the accounts. The first two sales to the same customer, you're going to get 50% commission. And that's the motivation here behind this. As you see here, the plans that we show in our pricing on the website is this. $67 is the trial. That's to get people to try the software, try the solution, and get them hooked. But the idea thing is to try to sell them right away on $197, the professional plan, the agency, or the broker. And you get 50%. When I say the first two commissions, the two sales, is because of a lot of times they want to try it out. So they'll try the $67 plan, and then as they like it, they're going to get calls. We're going to move them up to the bigger plan. And we get to 50% of the second sale as well, which it could be after the first week or after the second week. It just depends on how quickly we execute the first trial or the first sale. On this plan here, I went ahead and added these words because this is going to give 150 voicemails to a customer, to a list that they choose. So either we get a list for them or they can give us a list, and we guaranteed at least 5 callbacks or their money back. So this is a strong selling point when we're on the phone with them. Hey, you don't have nothing to lose. You just try our system for $67. We guarantee that you're going to get at least 5 callbacks, but most likely you're going to be impressed if you're going to get at least most likely 10 to 15 to even 30 callbacks, like we did in some other customers that we just that did the trial. And so that's how we're going to get this very easily, in a sense. But if you can convince them to go straight into a bigger plan, your commission is going to be greater and they're going to get a better results, right? What we see here with most of the campaigns is an average of 8 to 30% of the callbacks that we drop. And that would vary based on the type of campaign, the type of voicemail, what time of the day they was delivered. And so there's several variables, right? So we cannot guarantee anything, but that's the typical results that we get. We also, I've got to tell you more on the presentation, but that's basically the sales package that we promote. And as you log them on the CRM, they're going to be your customers. And all we have to do is follow up with them the week after, or the first trial or the first plan, and then they're going to agree on continue the service, and they're going to sign up again. It's going to be your baby. And ongoing, as the plan is for them to stay paying per month, you're going to get 10% residual on that account. So if you sell a $400 package, you're going to get $40 every month from that one account. So imagine if you sell 10 accounts in 1 month, which is very low, you're going to get $400 on that account, on those accounts, on the next month without doing much of anything. You just want to make sure they are signing up again, they are renewing their plans, or they're going to be, which we kind of just want you guys to, place them a call and make sure they're okay, or if they need any help, that kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
Question.
Anybody have questions? Yes.
I do. What if you have an existing account and they have been paying, say, $197, and so you get that 10% of that? But what if you upsell?
Upsell?
Upsell them, yeah. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Good question. Yeah, you get the difference of the plan from 197 to 597. You get the 50% of the sale of that commission, the upgrade in the plan. So let's say, what is a $400 difference? And so you get 50% of the difference of between one plan and the other. But that's a good question. So that's that. You mean after the second sale, right? After they're on for a while. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense. Okay, so one of the things that we do when we get somebody on board, when we are talking about, okay, now let's talk about your list. You want to start? We have one of the things that we do is provide this a database of. We have over 25 million people in our database, so businesses and consumers directly. And one of the things that we give away for free is the database of the list. We have to kind of make sure to bring that value in, because most people, if they are in business for themselves, they want to do any kind of a campaign, whether if it is email or cold calling or hire a call center to do a campaign of a promotion, send out postcards, whatever. They're going to have to buy a list. Those lists are available to buy for hundreds of dollars. Depends how many do you buy. You want to buy, 1,000, 5,000, 100,000. So there are a lot of companies that sells lists. That's all they do all day long. And we provide that list for free. So we always going to make sure that we provide that as a free service to them. As long as they are on our plan, they can download the list for themselves so they can do a follow-up on their own. They're going to be able to, most of our lists do not have the emails, so they have the business name, the address, zip code, and the phone number. Because remember, we're in the business of a voicemail, so we need the phone number. So for us, what's important is the phone numbers. But some lists, they do have emails, so that's a plus. That's an add-on that sometimes it does happen to have the emails. But we can't guarantee emails at all. But if they wanted to find out what the idea is, once you get the calls in as a callback, the first thing you're going to do is sell on a service. And the second thing is, okay, can I get your email address so I can follow up with a quick email, and boom. And that's what they need to do on their side. Our clients will do that on their side. So that's what they're going to collect, the fresh email, and make sure they get the latest address or whatever. So they will do that during the call. But we have a form that we can send out, and there are some things that we can ask, like an income level. Our consumer database list allows them to have, if they want to cater to just people that makes over $100,000, we can sort that out and give people with just $100,000 and above. If they want it to be homeowners, we have that. If they want to be just renters, so if realtors that wants to cater just to renters to buy one of those first-time buyers type of a house or condos and stuff, we have that list as well. So it makes it very cool for the realtors to target a specific city or a zip code and to just renters, for example. So that's the consumer list. We also have the business list, and you can enter here, and that's what we use it for ourselves as well. I have other ones, but there are several types of databases that we use and to select businesses. I have a company right now, and I'm going to give you that example in a minute, but we just launched his campaign this weekend. It's a video production company called Velocity Videos. And he wanted to, even though he's a video production company, he doesn't want to go to consumers. He wants to go to businesses, right? So we went here and we he wanted to cater to just realtors or brokers, real estate companies, because they want to create video marketing and market the videos on a ad campaign for Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So that's his business. So we went here and we generated a list of 300 or something realtors in a particular three zip codes or 2 zip codes. And with that, we loaded into the system and we generated a lot of calls. And I'll show you the calls. It's very cool because this is still going. We have another, I'm going to bring the screen up. Let me just, okay, check this out. This is a live campaign that we are doing it right now with a customer that signed up for a trial. So as you can see here, this was, that was doing a test call for him, and then we started the campaign on a Friday. He had 12 callbacks, and Saturday he has 18 callbacks. And this is the list of callbacks. This is what we call the call tracker. We give the access to the customer. We create a login. We create it with their name and their password, and they go into this particular interface with the call tracker interface. And here we capture all their calls and the recordings. It's a very, very powerful way to see it. You're going to hear, this is some of the callbacks. I'm going to play it here for you.
Morning, Sean speaking. Hi, you called me regarding a shooting.
This is a bad one to listen to. Let me try a different one.
Hi, you've reached Sean K. Michael with Velocity Video. Leave a message and I'll call you back.
Not a good one either. It went to voicemail.
Good morning, this is Sean speaking.
Hey, Sean, this is Patrick Emmanuel.
Yes, how you doing, Patrick?
I'm doing well, and yourself? I just received a call from you, but I'm having some phone issues today. Were you able to access my voicemail?
Yes. I got the message, but basically what I was trying to do is I was dealing with a realtor in the area.
Okay, which area are you referring to?
I'm in Plantation.
You're in Plantation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And basically, I wanted to just give you a call because I help people with video marketing, and in particular, getting new real estate leads using video. And
anyway, you got the idea, right? Could you guys hear that message? Could you guys hear the voice?
I did, yes.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, great. So as you can see, he has a lot of calls here, and some of them are short. They are not interested. No, some of them are good. But that's the idea. He was able to get at least 3 appointments, physical appointments, and a few call me back later, I'm interested, whatever. So with this $167 package that he trialed, he was able to get all those calls back, and there's more to come. He still have another 80 to go, something like that. But anyway, he was able to get that. He's very happy. He most likely will sign up for this next package because unfortunately he has too many good calls because he was able to say, man, I already have 3 appointments set up for next week, So it was a great campaign for him as a trial. But that's a sampler of what a customer will be able to see, and we as the company, we can kind of see the screenshots, we can see that the recording, we can hear because we are the company, but only them are able to see that in us. So that's a very powerful tool for them to do it. Okay, so that's the business calls. We have several kinds of scripts that we can provide for this kinds of industry, cosmetic surgery, for carpet cleaners, for automobiles, for HVAC companies, insurance companies. We have plenty of ideas of a script. In fact, this is one of the scripts that we kind of recommend. It's always to be short and sweet, to the point, right? No one likes to listen to long messages and long voice messages. It's just too long. We kind of try to keep it between 20 and 45 seconds, below a minute to be effective. That's what we typically try to keep. We recommend to keep those messages as short as it can be. All we want is to be able to intrigue the caller or the customer to be able to call you back, to call the person back. Once they call you back for whatever reason you gave them, that's going to, now the person's going to go into the sales mode and introduce the details of what he's offering, right? So that's the main thing here. As you can see here, I'm wondering if your work schedule was like when you can start taking new clients. Please give me a call. So if somebody sees that, hear that, now he's going to say, what? New clients? Okay, I'll call you, whatever. So there's a generic campaign script that can be used to generate interest in people calling you back. That's basically what we're trying to do here. This is the portal of our software. This is the heart of our software. This is how we configure the voicemails. We enter the lists that we're going to import. We're going to create a voicemail for the customer. There is a place in here that allows the customer to actually we create a 1-800 number and a PIN number. So, and the person would ask you, how am I going to record a voicemail? I mean, how do I record that? Do I record it on my phone or I send a file to you? And those are valid questions. And our software allows us to, we create a special number for the person and with a PIN that when he records the script, after he chose the script, he's going to record with dial this 1-800 and press the PIN. That PIN will give you a complete set of instructions to say, hi, I'm your virtual assistant. Please start talking after the tone. But if you want to upload more files, this is going to go straight into your campaign. You can create multiple messages, and it will be on your screen, on your campaign, that's what I want to show you also here.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Can they upload, say they do an outside voice actor, can they upload a WAV file?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what they do. They can record it on their own phone, or they can send out to be recorded professionally, or the best news, here's another value. In order to have somebody professionally recorded a voicemail, you have to pay for an actor or voiceover, we call. We provide that for free. We also provide that for free. We have female and male professional voiceovers, even in Spanish and as well. So we provide that as a service. He just chooses the script. If the person does not want to record with their own voice, we can do that for them at no additional charge. So that's the advantage. So let me go here into where was here to tell the customer where they need to go to record or to see their campaign. They go into the members area, and there is to access their own portal. They go into here, and you can see here there is the call tracker. They can just access here, or they can go into the voice portal, and that's where the voicemail is located. I'm going to log in as Sean so you can get an idea of what it looks like. And you always have to accept this terms and conditions of the website. This is for protect ourselves. I accept. So now we have the interface of the maxvoicemail.com platform. Notice here they have a status on the current. The dollar amount is not really dollar. It's basically credits. It's not dollars per se. and we have user accounts and the password, and this is how we configured we enter the audio. If you go into the audio, here's where you create the PIN number. The person will call this number here and then enter this PIN number that we generated for him only. And then he created a voice over the phone, or he can go here and upload the file. You just have to browse and look for a WAV file or MP3 file, and then uploads into here. All right. The caller ID, it's an important aspect of this, very, very important. We, as a company, we give him a new phone number for him to record on the script or the voicemail. So this number is not his cell phone number. This is a number that we gave it to him on a particular area code. For instance, he's in Fort Lauderdale, so we gave him Fort Lauderdale. If he's in New York, we gave a New York phone number. And on the voicemail that he's going to create to send it out, he's going to say, "Hi, this is Sean from Velocity Videos. We do this and that. Call me at 954-280-8755. Not his cell phone, not his company number. This is going to be the number that we use to access the tracking software. And because our tracking software requires to have our own number, otherwise we cannot route the calls to and be recorded the calls or track our calls. But inside here, we actually put his phone number, and that's his phone number right here. So we are the one that forwarded through the call tracker, and the call tracker would forward it to his cell phone. So it's just basically rerouting the call, but he will receive all the calls. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. This is a DNC manager. If you have to have a particular list, he found out that somebody said, "Hey, do not leave me any more messages. I don't want to be bothered," or whatever. So he can manually insert the phone number here, or upload a file, or if you want to block a whole state, if you're doing a campaign for different states, they're very flexible and can be able to load this list of the .call list in here. Here is where you actually load the different lists of contacts. We can just create a new list here, and it goes through, give it a name, and you upload your file, and we map the fields correctly and all that. But he has loaded 357, and we have suppressed. You don't have to go into this. I just want to show you some of the basic screens. The scheduler. This is important, how you create a new schedule. When the person, the owner of the campaign, he can create what time he wants the delivery of the voicemails to call. So he can start to say, "I want calls to be delivered from 12 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday, or 4 o'clock. So all the calls that he has for that day, if he has 100 calls, 200 calls list on the list, it's going to be delivered during this time. And then the system would stop. And then it continues on the next day and so forth. You can schedule your whole week based on the number of calls that you have on your list, how many do you want to take, because if you put too many in one day, you're going to miss out on too many calls that come in. So the system is very, very powerful, especially if you take it to cell phones, because people tend to call back real fast after they hear they missed the call. So you have to be spaced out, and you may want to have the system to call out this long, but you can also schedule to go so many per day, so you won't be overwhelmed. Like with this guy here, we set it up only to get 50 calls on a Friday and 50 calls on a Saturday. And he got that many calls. You saw how many calls? 32 calls. So we always have to space out on different times of the day when he can actually receive the call. And when you go into the Rio campaign here, you have an additional option that's very important. It's called number of ports. Because all those questions that I'm telling you here, people will ask you that. the number of ports here is very important. That means it's almost like how many voicemails is going to go out at the same time. So this you can increase it to 100, 200 at the most. So can you imagine having 200 voicemails into 200 cell phones at the same time? He's going to get bombarded with calls. So normally, if it is an agency like a dealership with 4, 5, 6 people in a call center that can take the inbound calls and they have the automatic distribution of the calls, that's fine. We can increase that to no problem because they can be passed along to 6 people. Also, in our call tracking, call distribution software, we can have if you're going to call into a real estate office or some kind of a call center business, and they have 3 or 4 sales agents, we can distribute the calls to do a round robin. Send one call first to this salesperson 1, salesperson 2, salesperson 3, and do it a round robin, or do it a simultaneous call. Everybody would be ringing, all their phones would be ringing. Whoever picks up the call first will take over that call. So that's the flexibility we can do as well. This is basically the campaign. I know this is a lot of information here, guys, but I'm just showing the overview. You don't have to learn all this at once. You don't have to learn at all. All we have to do is the calls, get the trials, and I will set this up. But it's important for you guys to understand what goes on with the campaign. But here, for example, is the limit that the person can set. I want 50 per day, and whatever time schedule that he set it up from 8 to 12, it's going to be 50 spread out in 4 hours. So that's a lot more, doable for one person to handle those callbacks. So that's more or less what I wanted to give you an idea, an overview of what the platform looks like. You guys have questions? No questions? Okay. All right, so let's finalize here the final slides. The list. When we ask people if they want to do, if they don't have their own list, we can provide them with a voicemail or with a list of databases, right? And our databases, we have many types of databases. I want to show you. This is for our own internal use. I'm the only one that has access to this. So here, I'm going to show you that those are the different types of a list that I generated in the past. Here are the databases that we have. This is very important. Notice that we have here home advisor contractors. People would die, would kill to have these kinds of lists. If you have any kind of a service that you want to sell into roofing companies, plumbers, remodeling companies, contractors of different kinds, we have access to their phone numbers and we can call directly to them. That is, people would pay money to have access to those kinds of phone numbers and stuff. But this is one of the databases. We have a database just for dentists. Consumers is where you have all kinds of criteria to go along. We have consumers, just cell phones. But this one does not give a whole lot of choices as far as criteria goes. But there is only cell phones. Here includes a lot of landline numbers, businesses, automotive dealerships. So those are different types. One for just insurance agents, that's what we're gonna target the most. Well, not the most, but it's a good niche to get into it, as well as realtors. To get an idea of the consumers, I'm gonna just show you this. We typically will give a list name, and then we'll select a city, a state, a zip code. I'm just gonna put one here to show you something. We can select male or female, where you want to cater to, their birth year, if you want certain people. And also, it's important to have the birth year. If you're catering to insurance, healthcare and Medicare, you want to try to get people there on 64 years of age because they're turning 65, and we can cater to just the month if they're going to turn 65 in November, we're going to send out a list to a bunch of now insurance potential clients that would be turning to 65, so we can add all kinds of plans for insurance. Here's the age range. If they are homeowners, this is for realtors or anybody that wants to cater to homeowners. If they are renters or not, what's their income or their value of their home? Not income, the medium home value. If they live in a small house that's only, condos and small houses, one thing. If you want to cater to people that have condos or houses above $300,000, you can select that as well as their income level. And this is what we can kind of provide to customers. This alone, like I said before, it's a huge add-on value that people would pay to have access to those kinds of lists. So, have any questions about the list? Guess not. Okay. So I showed you the portal, and that's all I have to show in this presentation. I want to give you the overall view of the company, what we provide, and the type of scripts we have. We have many scripts that we can help the customer how to, including in our website. One of the most powerful thing to show is if you go into case studies and go into real estate, for example, you have a list of voicemail scripts. And even because this was generated by a full campaign that we did it for our customers, now there are some results. Some scripts generates better return than others, better callbacks than others. As you can see here, that gives an idea. The dealerships is one of the bigger ones because they're typically you're dealing with a high volume of calls, but not necessarily. But this one, for example, we have sent out almost 9,000 voicemails, generated 700 callbacks. Can you imagine getting 700 callbacks within a week? This was done within 2 weeks. They generated 70 appointments and sold 35 deals. They made a profit of $70,000. And for the dealership itself, it only cost them about $1,800 because they did the larger plan. Actually more, because the larger plan is 600 plus times 3. Yeah, just about that, about close to $2,000 they spent. But they generated $70,000 in profit. As you can see, the ROI is huge here. And here is some of the messages of what they can say on their campaigns. They can do a referral message, the thank you message, the 90 days reminder for their service. They can do appreciation day, buyback, their oil changes, or they can have different types of campaigns. That's just to give you an idea. Same thing with the insurance and so forth. So we have to kind of keep improving and adding different things as I have time to do it with my web developer person. But that gives an idea of what the company does and what we can provide. Now I'm open for questions. Any questions you guys have? I know it's taken, now it's over an hour, about an hour now. Karen, any questions?
No, I'm good.
No, you're good. Okay. All right. So the next step here, guys, is I have another video that I want you guys to watch. It's about 40 minutes. Is how to handle calls. Instead of a play on this call, I just send out the link of the video, and it's basically what to say, what not to say when you're on the phone. Things that would people typically turn people off if you say that you're gonna sound like you're a salesy type of person. But anyway, I will send you that video link so you guys can watch that, and then we'll have another call. But the plan is the next steps after the training, another a day or so, you guys are ready, is come up with a campaign. I think since we have 2 people on this call that have insurance background, we can try to sell to agents, that insurance agents and sell this, target a particular city, and we send out a bunch of voicemail, and we're going to get callbacks. And you guys are going to just, since you are familiar with the terms and types of offering that they are selling, it's kind of a nice to be able to talk their lingo. And it's one of the things that I am big on when I'm calling a type of company. It's important for us to kind of see the company's website or the industry website. If there is insurance, if you have the background, it's easy for you. But if you call into some kind of a different roofing company, I called the other day HVAC, and I went to their website. I wanted to see what kind of a maintenance contracts they offer, what kind of promotions they offer, so we can kind of talk and suggest things that are related to what they do. So that's very important to be as local as you can when we receive those calls. But anyhow, and once we set up a campaign, we can send out those calls. I have haven't talked much about the Bitrix, but for the time being, what we can do is I'll send out a list of the customers that we're going to be sending out to you, whoever is going to take the campaign. So you have a spreadsheet, and you can load it up as a backup in case you don't have your login, if you're not familiar yet with the Bitrix 24, and then you can just enter notes on the Excel spreadsheet. What the guy wants to do is follow up, call tomorrow, send an email tomorrow, whatever, until you get acclimated with the Bitrix 24. But I'm going to do a video training on the Bitrix 24 that it can be done at a later time next week or this week, later this week sometime. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions? No, I think you forgot to ask an important question. I'll answer for you. How are these people going to pay for this? How are we going to refer? They want to buy. They're ready to buy. You convince them on the phone. They're going to get a trial, and that's important. Is once they go into all we have to do is let's go into the website, and you can kind of walk them through.
Hello, my name is Erica.
Oh, by the way, you guys have seen Erica, right? Erica is a great salesperson that kind of explains the whole, a good understanding of what we sell. But basically, when we go into sell, we basically ask them to go to our website and sign up for the correct plan. And then once they go here and to add this particular trial, it's just typical sales page. It's going to revise what we buy. You're going to add to the cart. Once the person adds to the cart, he's going to view the cart and then go to the checkout, right? And I even forgot to mention this, but if you feel that the customer would be a good customer, he could come up with a company and they wanted to try, they think that, I don't want to pay $67 on something that I have no idea it's going to work, whatever. We have a coupon that we can provide for $20 that basically gets down to $47, and I'll give the coupon, but it cuts down on your commission and our company's profit, right? But it's a way to get people signed up, to get them going. We don't offer that until if we see that's appropriate. If you think that this could generate a $400 plan, that's worth to get them on board, that kind of stuff. So once you get to here, they're going to ask you, how can I pay for this? So what do you accept? Or how do you go? It's a typical checkout the website. You fill up the billing information, and you can pay with a Visa, MasterCard through the PayPal. So PayPal is extremely safe, and if anybody says otherwise, it is the most well-known payment system out in the world. But you can pay with a MasterCard or Visa inside PayPal. So this will take you to a complete secure page inside PayPal. And as soon as that goes through, I'll get an email from the order, and I'll forward it to you as you're the salesperson. But you're going to be entering that information. You're going to send me an email. We're going to talk every time you have a new sale, right? Because I have a staff of a few people that will help me do the fulfillment of this, and I'll pass it on to them. But I am the front line of the sales to help out. the fulfillment first initial contact. And we will contact the customer directly. If you want to be on a call, you want to make sure you can be on the call, but you don't have to. All you have to do is make sure they signed up and, go through the process. Any questions?
Initially, Ron, I do have a question. Initially, since I personally am not too familiar with your product until I become good at it, would you mind if I referred a potential client to you? Hopefully you close it, or I mean,
of course. Yeah, absolutely. If you have somebody already interested, we can be on the call together. That would be even better. That way you can listen in and but we can close it. You get the commission. Of course, it's your referral, your customer. If anybody knows anybody off the bat, no, it's even better, because I'm sure we all know somebody that can use this. I mean, it's amazing. I talk to people, oh man, that sounds very interesting. I'd like to try it. So just talking to people. I went to a business-to-business event, Friday, and that's how I met 3 people. I only talked to 3 or 4, and 3 people wanted to start. I have one that wants to do a meeting this afternoon. The other wants to do it tomorrow. And one I just did was on Friday. No, this was from the Wednesday. But anyhow, if you're just talking to people, you're going to get referrals. You're going to get people interested. And the same way, just let me know who they are, and we'll assign that to you.
Already.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll talk one-on-one, or give me a call if you have any questions. Let's go one-on-one. I can clarify any questions you may have. Okay, I know it's lunchtime. I'm hungry myself.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one.
You do the same.
Thanks, Rod.
Bye-bye. Bye.